When my boss died, his daughters tried to gut me. So, yeah, that's how this whole mess started. When Gary Hollis, my old boss, mentor, and the only guy who ever gave me a real shot, died, I honestly thought life might get simpler. The man had been half retired for years, and I was basically running Hollis Roofing anyway. Estimates, crews, inspections, fires to put out, you name it, I handled it. So when the will reading came around, I walked in thinking maybe he'd leave me a piece of the business I'd been holding together with duct tape and caffeine for over a decade. Nope. Instead, his three daughters, Lauren, Megan, and Paige, got everything. The whole company. Split three ways like they'd actually ever set foot on a job site. Their dad left me a beat-up red toolbox, the same one I'd carried up 100 ladders while Gary yelled reminders from the ground. I waited for more, but that was the whole show. They acted like giving me the toolbox was some tremendous act of generosity. I took it home anyway. Sentiment's a hell of a thing, I guess. A week later, they summoned me to the office, which looked like an Instagram influencer had tried to renovate a construction company. Gary's old wood desk, gone family photos, gone. In their place, fake plants, abstract art, a glass desk that probably cost more than I made in a month, and a PowerPoint. Never trust a PowerPoint in a family business. Hollis Roofing 2.0, Lauren announced, like she was unveiling the iPhone. Then she told me they were cutting my salary from 92 grand down to 55. Meanwhile, each of them was taking home a clean 120,000 as executive compensation for doing what? Liking each other's Instagram posts? I thought it was a joke. It was not. Then came the contract they wanted me to sign. Lower pay, 60-day probation, at-will firing, and a non-compete so aggressive I wouldn't even be allowed to fix my own shingles without getting sued. I told them no. They told me I didn't get to say no. They also called me manual labor, which honestly might have been the funniest part of the whole thing if it weren't so insulting. So I explained, slowly, like I was talking to toddlers with trust funds, that my contractor's license was the one keeping their entire operation legal. Without it, they couldn't pull permits, finish jobs, pass inspections. Basically, they couldn't run a roofing company at all. They didn't believe me. They also didn't believe me when I said the crew would walk if I did, or the suppliers, or the inspectors. Employees are replaceable, Paige said, literally tossing her hair like she was rejecting a guy at a bar. That was when it clicked. To their dad, I'd been a partner. To them, I was a dude with a hammer they could push around for fun. So I slid their contract back across the desk and said the most satisfying 2 words of my adult life. I quit. They panicked, claimed I couldn't quit, claimed I'd signed a non-compete. Newsflash, I hadn't. Threatened all sorts of nonsense. But I just handed over the truck keys, told them which deadlines were about to explode in their faces, reminded them their permits were under my license, and walked right out. That night, I sat at my kitchen table with Gary's old toolbox next to me. That stupid red box suddenly felt like a blessing instead of an insult. A sign, maybe. I cracked open a notebook and started sketching out a plan. At the top of the page, I wrote, Davis Roofing and Waterproofing. By 2 a.m., I had a list. Fred, Luis, Kenny. At 8 a.m., I called the first name Fred picked up on the second ring. Click the full story to see what happened next.